I know everyone has heard the video of Ilhan Omar talking about oppression. And I usually don't pick on people for the way they talk, but Ilhan seems to have a mouthful of something, marbles or what have you. So her new name is modified after Elmer Fudd, who used to pronounce his R's like W's. Elmer, I'm hunting wabbits. So Ilhan Omar is now Ilhan Elmar. Transliteration of Elmer. So she's talking about, for 27 seconds, oppression. So let's just watch that video for a moment.
As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who is profiting, who is being shut out, we will perpetuate this inequality. So we cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it.
She doesn't want to perpetuate oppression. Now, the obvious, let's point out the obvious. She's wearing a khimar, a Muslim khimar. The two people that are close to her are not 6 feet away, and she has no face mask. Now, that khimar that she's wearing could easily have been pulled up like this so that she could have spoken in public while not social distancing. But she didn't do that. So maybe she doesn't want to make her khimar, the inside of her khimar, something that she has to continually inhale. So what she also could have done, and what I suggest, is maybe she goes out and gets herself a mask. Now, this is a good mask, Ilhan Elmar, because it shows support for law enforcement, the thin blue line. Now, there's other ones out there too. You could go out and get yourself, go to President Donald Trump's website and get yourself a Trump 2020 face mask. Now, there's something that you could put on, and then people maybe wouldn't hear how you say the system of oppression. So let's just look at this system of oppression that Ilhan Omar is speaking about. Because in today's society, we have a public who watches a lot of television. They have video games, they have smartphones, they have computers. There's not a lot of historical depth in our education system. So when Sandy Cortez, which was her bar name where she grew up in her upscale neighborhood, Sandy Cortez is talking about defunding, about how budget cuts are going to limit $3 billion from the education system. Well, when you only teach partial history, maybe you should only get partial funding. So let's talk about some history. Now, on the screen, you'll notice I put up a flag, and you're seeing pictures scroll as well. Who are these people? Who are these people? Well, I'm going to get to that because there's a system of oppression that we need to speak of. Now, there is a word called presentism. Presentism, in a nutshell, is you take the way things are, that you know of them, how you know of them, and you say, well, this is what I know. And so then when you speak of anything in the past, history, you apply a present mindset to the past. And then what you could do is you create a false history based on what your present mindset is. So let's examine the Amazigh. Who are the Amazigh? You may not know, but Ilhan Elmar does. We recently watched, over the 4th of July weekend, President Donald Trump at Mount Rushmore. And we heard all of the woke tards come out and say, oh, he's giving a speech on stolen land, That's very interesting, because my question would be, well, who did the Lakota Indians steal the land from? Interesting question. I may try to get to that in a future video, not on this video. Because on this video, I want to deal with Ilhan Elmar's system of oppression. The Amazigh people are people from North Africa. We know them today as the Berbers, but that is to them, to the Amazigh people, that is a very insulting name. To them, that's like the N word. It's like it's a name that was assigned to them that actually comes from like barbarian. That's Berber, barbar. It's a name assigned to an ancient pagan people. Now, the Amazigh were a matriarchal people, just like all of the people that were pagans pre-Christianity, pre-Muslim, pre-Judaism. They brought in a patriarchal system. All of the pagan peoples that I have ever researched up to this point in my life have been matriarchal peoples, including the Amazigh people. Now, Amazigh means free people. Just like in the Old Norse, the Nordic belief system, Mother Goddess Freya, her name means free or freedom. So we see a common thread which exists within the matriarchal peoples. So these Amazigh people, they have a word for Muslims. And the reason they have a word for these Muslims that came into their area is because Muslims, well, they instituted a system of oppression on the Amazigh people. The Amazigh are the indigenous people of North Africa. They were the original inhabitants of North Africa. The people that you're seeing scrolling across the screen are the indigenous people of North Africa. Why is that important? Because Islam, many hundreds of years later, decided to come in and forcibly displant and steal the land and put in position of power people that then oppressed the Amazigh people. You see, Ilhan Omar is either ignorant of her own history or she plays off of the ignorance of other people so that she can say whatever she wants, but because it's not taught in school and you've never heard it before, well, must be true. So Ilhan Omar, they have this word that's called, it's being Arabized. And they even have these Islamic people, her belief system, patriarchal belief system, that moved in and oppressed the Amazigh people. They have a event where they have an Arab beating an Amazighian with a stick, okay? And what they do that for is to show that it's done annually, and it's to show how the Arabs, how the Muslim people came in and forcibly took over North Africa. North Africa was not Muslim. North Africa was not black. North Africa was white. The indigenous people of North Africa, the Amazigh people, are a white-skinned people. That not only were they oppressed, they are oppressed still, because they have different events now that the Islamic government in North Africa even turns it into a circus-type atmosphere. That's their marriage ceremony that they have once a year, where it's like a courting-type ceremony. And the Islamic government that is in place, oppressing the Amazigh people, they have taken over that historic part of their culture, and they've turned it into a circus. They even eliminate Amazighians from attending their own ceremony so they can bring in press and photographers and then make it a money-making scheme built on a system of oppression. That's what she just said. She just said that. But she plays off of either her own ignorance or the ignorance of others. Now, where else does this become important? This becomes important in, again, I don't want to go deep into religious belief here, but the whole out of Africa mindset, presentism. When you hear that, out of Africa, I've read books where authors have said, how did people come out of Africa, go into Europe, and turn white? They didn't turn white. They were white. the indigenous people in North Africa were white. They're Amazigh people. Like Amazon, but Amazigh. Forgive me if I'm not saying that 100% correctly. I'm trying. So this out of Africa theory is now, first they used to think that it was over toward Kenya in that area, but now scientists have said, no. It's probably North Africa. There's evidence to support 300, and I think it's 15,000-year-old evidence, older than that they had, that was over in Kenya, Sudan, Somalia, where Ilhan Omar is from North Africa. So the whole out of Africa thing is white people, Amazigh people, a matriarchal people. Now, if you go to the Bible, into Genesis. Now the Bible, Old Testament Bible, but all Judaism, the three patriarchal cults of the Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they all relate back to the Old Testament. That is their core. The Old Testament is their core. So you go back to Genesis, and what do you see? Adam and Eve. We say Adam and Eve. However, the actual way to pronounce Adam's name is Adam. Adam. Now, I've heard many pastors say that name means red. So therefore, they say, well, maybe it was because the God of the Bible blew into red dirt. And no, it's got absolutely nothing to do with that. It's also got nothing to do with, well, what they're the football team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. It's got nothing to do with red-skinned people, which they're not actually red-skinned anyways. They're copper-ish color skin. This is what it's got to do with. Back when the Bible was written, the oldest copy that we have of the Old Testament is circa 550 BCE, before the Common Era. Okay, back when that was written, the Arabic people only had two distinctions for race, two distinctions for skin color. One was black, and the other one was white. And that white was called Adam. Now, what's that got to do with red? Because Adam means white with the ability to turn red, to blush, to sunburn red. Now we're talking red. That is what Adam means. So the whole out of Africa thing, married to Genesis, if you believe in the Bible and the Old Testament, out of Africa, from northern Africa, a white people, the Amazigh, free people of North Africa before they were oppressed by the Islamic religion, they would have been the Adam people, the white with the ability to turn red. Now, Adam in the Old Testament was put into a deep sleep, if you recall, because the God of the Bible is said to say, well, it is not good for man to be alone, so he needs a helpmeet. And Eve was taken from the side of Adam. Eve means, her name means mother of all living. So Eve, taken from the side of Adam, white with the ability to turn red or blush or sunburn, was taken from the side of Eve. So the first two people, Adam and Eve, according to the Bible, were white people. And according to the theory of out of Africa, Northern Africa, 315,000 years old, the first people were exactly what you're seeing on the screen, white people. So this system of oppression that moved into North Africa and gave them a completely different religion forcibly, and now makes money off of those people, has stripped them of land, has stripped them of culture, has oppressed them for hundreds upon hundreds of years, is now in place. And Ilhan Omar should know that, or she does know that. She's counting on you not knowing that.
As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who is profiting, who is being shut out, we will perpetuate this inequality. So we cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it.